Hi, everyone. This is a panel about financial inclusion, innovative technology. We've heard of a lot of big political, economic pictures in the previous sessions. So this session is more about the concrete company work on the ground in Indonesia. So to start the discussion, I would like to hear, like each of you, just briefly share your perspective on Indonesia's evolving financial landscape and the role your organization plays in advancing financial inclusion. So maybe I start with Tika.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kartika Wiritmojo. You can call me Tiko. I'm the chairman of Bank Rakyat Indonesia, the largest bank in Indonesia, which focus on microfinancing. Currently, Bank Rakyat is doing probably one of the largest financial inclusion program in the world, I think. Because right now we have around 200 million active saving account, and also around 33 million active ultra micro and micro debtors. So in Indonesia, we see that the role of digitalization is very essential to include MSME into a more wider scale and to graduate them into a more mid-scale companies. So yesterday we were just finalizing our ABAC meeting with our APEC consortiums. MSME currently occupy around 35% of GDP across Asia Pacific, and Indonesia is probably even more from our GDP. And the e-commerce transaction is one of the enablers. Right now in Indonesia, we have around 500 trillion transaction in e-commerce, which probably around 80% of the transaction is coming from the MSME seller. In Bank Rakyat, currently we already disburse around 800 trillion of credits to both micro and MSME, and we are trying to enabling our MSME and micro debtors to start go digital. So we help them to work with our team and our incubators to start selling their product and building a logistic chain to sell in an e-commerce store, which of course will increase significantly their sales, their ability to reach wider consumer base. So I think with our tools right now, BRI has several digital tools. First of all is our mobile banking platform, Brimo, which has 20 million active users. And we have agent banking, because Indonesia is such a large archipelagic country. We have 1.2 million agents across Indonesia. So in any village in Indonesia, we have 5 to 10 agents. And we also with our ability to do QRIS transaction, it's a QR-based transaction that is promoted by Indonesian Central Bank. Now we can accommodate a massive cross country logistics and transactions in a very fast and efficient way. So for example, if somebody is selling coffee from Papua to a buyer in Jakarta, then the enablement in terms of e-commerce, payment and logistics can be done in just one. This is something that is really opening access for the MSME. Usually they could just sell around on their perimeters. Now they could sell across the nation with a very wide range of customer base and with a very efficient payment and logistics system. I think I will start there first.
Thank you, Park. Thank you for the question. So I represent FWD Insurance. FWD is a relatively young company in the history of life insurance companies. We were set up in 2013 in Hong Kong, which is why we are part of this, this panel. And in a short period, since then, we have expanded our presence all over Asia. We're then in 10 markets. We have over 35 million customers, and we have a footprint which spreads across most of Asia and definitely in Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia, needless to say, Indonesia is one of the earliest markets that we came into. So we entered Indonesia in 2015, and since then we have progressively built up presence in this vibrant and dynamic country. Indonesia, from our perspective, I don't need to repeat why Indonesia is attractive in terms of an economy. Obviously, Park, mentioned all the reasons why this is the powerhouse of the ASEAN. But when it comes to insurance, there are a couple of, interesting dynamics. Insurance penetration in Indonesia still continues to lag behind some of its regional players. Although in the recent past, there has been gigantic progress made in terms of financial literacy, financial progression, financial inclusion, and so on and so forth, there is still a lot of work to be done in terms of making sure that insurance reaches to every nook and corner of Indonesia. And towards that, we are extremely proud to have worked with BRI. Park, yeah, absolutely. Park mentioned, but this is essentially his vision that we are executing, where we entered into a joint venture with BRI Bank, which, as you heard, is the largest bank in Indonesia, and of course, entered into a distribution arrangement with the bank and equity share in the life insurance company. And of course, subsequently with Park Sunaso from the bank and now Park Heri, we continue to work very closely in terms of reaching that vision. So this is a very exciting opportunity for us because Indonesia, as I mentioned, is remarkable. The other point that I would like to sort of highlight is the partnership with BRI is also very attractive in the sense that BRI is the largest micro loan distributor in the world. I mean, it's certainly in the ASEAN, but also in the world. And we take our role as a life insurance company very seriously. And inclusion of these micro loans into insurance is also a very, very, very exciting opportunity, and where we've had some great success, but perhaps I can share that with you a bit later. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Kuan Yu, Senior Vice President of Ant International, which is a global payment and digitalization technology provider. I'm leading the lending and credit tech services solution. Our mission and focus is simple. We focus on SMEs and underserved. We want to make it easy to do business anywhere for them, bring small and beautiful change to the world. As to Indonesia, I think as we have worked in many other emerging markets, it's a diverse market. There are lots of small and pop-up shops and micro entrepreneurs, and they are in the process of digitization and want inclusion. I think Indonesia has made a very strong progress on inclusion, both by public sector and by deep local players with local tech know-hows. I see our organization's role is how can we help on this journey, bringing our experiences from other markets. For example, we focus on SME, for them, how we can make their journey on digitalization easier. How can they open a digital store in 10 minutes? How can they accept payments from diverse methods? How can they gain financial solutions, loan services? We want to provide the full cycle solution to them to make them easier focus on their core business. Give you a few quick examples of our progress so far. We have worked with local wallet Dana, I think they're here, on helping them building the wallet technology and connect them to the global network so travelers here can get payment accepted, and Dana wallet users can go other market like it's a home base. We also work with local bank, OCBC, with their deep expertise and their know-how, and with our technology, how can we help the SMEs and smaller ones gain access? We also worked with a local payment infrastructure provider, Atta Jasa, make sure I don't get the name wrong, so we can help bring the national QR, Indonesia QR, Curious, connect to a broader global network to increase the interoperability.
There are a lot of thoughts there. I'll come back to you, Juan, later about the diverse market you mentioned a lot. But now I would just come to Binayak, because you talk about that strategic partnership with BRI a lot. So my question is that it has successfully leveraged the bank assurance partnership and digital transformation to bring life insurance and underserved population. So can you share insights like, on how these partnerships, especially with the Hong Kong-mainland China experience, that can accelerate financial inclusion in Indonesia?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. From our perspective, given the fact that we are legacy light, we have very little legacy, we are the new kids on the block, the ability to build partnerships with these national champions was very, very key and integral to our strategy. So we have a total of 38 partnerships across the region, 9 of them exclusive, but nowhere is the partnership as strong as BRI and as impactful in terms of this national champion strategy that I talked about. Obviously, we know BRI has 160 million customers, pretty much representative of the population of Indonesia, and we were incredibly proud when we got the mandate from Pak Tiko in 20 just a few years back, and we entered with a 25-26% minority ownership, which is now up to 44%. We have exclusive distribution rights, and there's a very, very clear understanding of shared principles between the two entities, which has made this partnership very successful. And just to give you extent of the success, in a short period of time, over a few years, we are the #1 bank insurer in Indonesia, and we are a top 3 life insurance company. So there's remarkable progress. So how did this all happen? As I explained, that it starts with the vision, and then of course it's a very clear understanding of what each partner brings to the table. BRI as a brand, BRI as a micro, loan banking institution, BRI as an institution which understands the psyche and the consumer preference of Indonesian people, these are unparalleled. From our perspective, obviously we are an insurance company, so therefore risk management, underwriting principles, and digitization. Being a new company, digitization, these are, value adds that we bring to the partnership. There are many, many examples that I could highlight, but I will share with you that the one that I'm most proud of, in 2025, INSEAD, one of the leading business schools of the world, included the BRI Life and FWD partnership as a case study to be taught in their MBA program. And there were, again, many aspects of the partnership which I could talk about, but I'll share with you the one that I'm most proud of. As you're aware, BRI does a large number of micro loans, and this is an incredibly important job that BRI is doing, because these are people that you are bringing into the banking system. They are, you're building financial inclusion. And this has always been a challenge for insurance companies, that how do you do bank insurance to this segment? Most bank insurers, they only want to work with wealthy customers. They only want to work priority banking customers. But the learning out here was that we had to design a solution which was based on the customer journey of that customer. The solution had to be highly digitized so that, that the marginal cost in delivering the insurance solution was very low. The cover was small, as low as $1, $2, $3, and so on and so forth. The policy issuance was as simple as a PDF file on the phone of the customer. Claim payment was rapid, as and when the customer needed it. And it gives me great joy to show that, that we cover almost 1 million of these policies every month. And this has to be an incredible, incredible record in terms of a bank insurance partnership. So I think these are some of the aspects: deep respect, understanding each other's respective strengths, and understanding the consumer and providing solutions around that, which is why the partnership has become incredibly successful.
Right. So, Katika, do you have anything to add? My main question actually for this partnership is that what lessons with such a partnership, like financial institution and an insurance company, that you have learned from it? This is a mainly Hong Kong-based company. So in the future, do we see more this kind of partnership, cooperation, like with mainland Chinese company, etc., things like that?
First of all, I would like to thank Gunayak for saying such a good thing about our partnership. I think I would like to highlight the fact that we are selling a premium with only $2. So it's very minimum level premium, $2 per month. But it gives protection for our macro customer when they have accident or they are sick, then they are able to repay the debt. and this become like huge product. That's why in just 2-3 years, we are becoming the number one in terms of annual premium earned for bank insurance in Indonesia, defying the old knowledge that usually bank insurance just work on wealth management, not on microcredit. So this is actually very unique. So on partnership, I would like to also highlight that besides in terms of product, we actually do a very large scale implementation of BRI API, in which open up our platform to other partners. So I will give you an example if I can share on slides. For example, if you know, like Tokopedia is owned by ByteDance now, and we are actually now working as a payment platform for all the e-commerce transaction, be it on the front end for the debit payment, QR payment, but also acting as their repository of their account. So basically, we can work with like of Alibaba and Financial, because we have the scale, the distribution, and you have the technology and know-how. So we work to actually create a new way of doing things that promote more access of finance with a more cheaper and more accessible model for our client base. So with this kind of model, actually, it took us around 2-3 years to perfect our API standard. So our API now is quite smooth, and security has been improved significantly. So we can easily share data of payment of customer, and we can do online scoring, online lending. I think in Indonesia, people is quite avid user of platforms, especially I just mentioned, for example, TikTok store. TikTok store in Indonesia is now becoming one of the largest place for people to sell stuff. But then we can actually work together to provide the financing, and also, at the same time, we can bring our customer to be trained to sell things online, be it on the e-commerce platform or in the platform like TikTok or ByteDance and on and so forth. And we can also do co-branding in terms of payment cards, like credit cards, debit card, and other payment tools. So there are many areas that we can work together. And of course, AI will be one of the things that we want to actually explore, like AI-based scoring, AI-based customer interaction. And of course, I believe that from mainland, we can bring the technology and work with us to capture the value for our customer.
Yeah, you talk about scale. So we just have a few minutes left, and I come to one. Scale, the question is also about that. Like now, what are the challenges faced by Indonesia's unbanked and underbanked population? And how have you learned from scaling these solutions across the diverse market, especially in leveraging the Hong Kong mainland China's experience?
Okay, thank you for the question. I think the key is both our global connectivity, know-how, and local partnership. I think that's been our approach in all the market. For example, Indonesia. I'll use Dana as our example. So the things we work with them, including connecting Dana wallet with our digital wallet gateway. What does that mean? That means all the Dana users, when they go overseas, they can be accepted in millions of places, merchants, anywhere. On the other hand, our network connects 1.8 million users. And all those, when they travel to Indonesia, for the merchants, as long as they accept Dana, their payment can be accepted. So that's the key we bring to market. And also, I'll talk to the area I'm familiar with on extending credit. We work with Dana closely on that. We have experiences both in China and beyond, because China has the largest sample size or population, so to speak. We have tried in industry by industry how you use data, alternative data, to gain access to merchants and mom and pop shops, because bank want to serve them. However, they don't have financial record, they don't have bureau record and all that, and they don't have time to apply for that. So we actually use their digital footprint, transactional data at the right time, provide the right credit. And we try that in China, we try that in many developing countries. So with that technology, we work with Dana, helping on their extending their credit services to their consumer and merchant. I think collectively, beyond China, we already With different wallets in a few key countries, we already provided credit access to over 30 million users and merchants.
Okay, we still have 1 minute left. So any of you we just wrap up this panel. Like if you could recommend one action, whether from regulators, business policymaker, that could make the most immediate impact on financial inclusion, what would it be?
Well, I think I'll emphasize again, I think partnership among different sectors, global technology collectivity, and local expertise are the key in my mind.
I think it's unifying payment interoperability so that SME can do more seamless trade cross-border. I think that's very crucial.
I think from my perspective, the regulators, the OJK has been very, very proactive along with, the other entities, but more creation of a rapid ecosystem where all the entities, the banks, the insurance companies, the payment providers, the health, companies can sort of build this framework to offer services and solutions to underserved communities. I think that would really help.
Thank you very much. A lot of great thoughts. We don't have enough time, but the conversation can continue after the panel. Please join me to thank our speakers for their great insights. Thank you.